if my Gintama type series was published on Webtoon or anywhere, I think it'll do pretty good. As I've mentioned in previous videos, as you guys know, Webtoon is Saturday AM and having a baby, which means Apple Black, Clock Striker, all the Saturday AM series are now going to be published free on Webtoon officially. Published worldwide in bookstores, translated, multiple languages, French and Japanese on the way, video games, toys, list goes on. But now just add on top of that, Webtoon. And then I also talked about some of the other ideas that were considered, some original, like Apple Black Anyachukwu, a romance story based off of the characters I came up with for a Clips Video Paint video I did in the past, but people really took to those characters. Obviously, regular Apple Black, which is where we went. And even the Apple Black light novel, actually. That was also considered. But another one considered was Bacassi. Now, some of you have asked me, where's Bacassi? When is it returning? When is it coming back? Because some of you really enjoyed Bacassi, in some cases more than Apple Black. When I dropped it a few years back, now obviously I've had to put it on hold to work on Apple Black and a bunch of other things, as you can see. It's very difficult to do multiple series at once. It's possible if you have the right teams behind it, but it's still very difficult. That said, it was considered this time. And just like Apple Black Anyachukwu, I was excited about this. I already started developing things, putting together a team. AFDS, who is one of my manga assistants, helping me out with that as well. Also helped with putting together a demo of how this would look so that Webtoon would know what it would kind of look like if it came down to it. And so he helped out with that while I was working on a bunch of other stuff. So shout out to you. Show love to the Patreon, because a lot of that goes back into production for not just the manga assistants, but even video help. But that said, I was excited to bring Bacassi back as a Webtoon. Obviously that didn't happen, but it might still, depending on how things go with this baby. You remember the baby I was talking about? Okay, you get it. Bacassi to me has always felt like Gintama meets the Boondocks, having another baby with South Park or something. I always enjoyed Gintama and its ability to be extremely silly while still having those very grounded, emotional, heart-wrenching, serious moments, depending on the arc you're on. I remember episode 25 when it parodied Death Note, and I was blown away. How it constantly parodies other series that are part of where it's published, because I believe it's published in Shonen Jump. And so it's kind of funny to have a character who reads Jump and has commentary and parodies about all the other series in there while still having fun with it in, you know, fairly respectable ways, but having true fun with it. There's like an episode where he has his kendo stick, but treating it like a zanpakuto would in Bleach and talking to it and all of that, because his wooden stick in the series, in a ridiculous way, he gets to cut all kinds of machines. And for those who are not familiar with Gintama, first off, shame on you. Secondly, it's like, imagine if aliens came halfway through the Edo era or something like that, where samurais everywhere, but then samurais got outlawed or something like that. But essentially it's in that era, but then with science and technology and all of that. So you kind of have this world where you can almost do anything, but it's still a little bit grounded in that old school Japan vibe. Characters are ridiculous. They remind me of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's another show that I think is underrated, and some of that energy, not fully, but some of that energy is what I was also going to carry on to Bacassi itself. But Bacassi is, in a similar vein, a world where all these otherworldly creatures and demons and aliens or whatever kind of come to Earth or migrate to Earth. So there's a lot of immigration stuff where I could even have commentary on today through that in very fun ways. It was essentially creating this world where almost anything goes. And if you're looking at the illustration and you see a colossal titan in the back, that's on purpose. But that's not a colossal titan. That is, you know, I never actually settled with the name, but it's not going to be necessarily a recurring character. I might even change a couple things. I just did this for fun, so you can kind of see the energy and the vibe I'm going for. But that's not Colossal Titan. That's Bob. Just Bob. A neighbor. Very nice Bob. Very kind, sweet guy. But essentially, I wanted a series where I could have commentary and fun with anything, while at the same time touch on certain topics that are serious and interesting, and also still have more character-based narratives that are also interesting. You know, in a way, it's kind of tied together, obviously. Imagine a webtoon that had commentary or parodies in satirical situations that are clearly nods to other webtoons. Is there a webtoon like that where, shoot, I can parody all the top webtoons? It'll be such a fun thing, and then the fans of that webtoon will even know about Bacassi or come check it out for that reason, and everybody can have fun, because I wouldn't want to do something that would be in any disrespectful way, but definitely something funny. It might be a lot of research, because then I'll have to read and watch a lot of webtoon stuff, but the idea and the concept, I could have so much fun. And obviously it doesn't have to stop with webtoon, it can go beyond that, just like Gintama, and I could touch on a bunch of shows, TV shows from the States or other countries, it doesn't matter, but now I'd be able to include the media that is on webtoon. I just think that would have been so much fun, and that is my plan with Bacassi. Whether it ends up being on webtoon or not, I could still do that. Obviously, there is a line you toe. You kind of want to walk a fine path, and I think Gintama does a great job with that as well, where you still want it to be its own thing, its own show, and have its own thing going on. Like, it's not reliant on all this other stories, and like it has a story of its own, which it does. And so there will be that challenge of writing a story like this, but definitely would have its fun moments that I was going to. I had a pop the balloon shout out idea that I thought would be funny. I had one about Chris Brown. I had like all kinds of stuff that I thought was funny and free flowing and just fit. I had some that kind of parodied some of my favorite movies, like Snatch or Fight Club. Like, I was gonna go ham. It was gonna be a lot of fun, and I think it will also allow for me to kind of tap into all these different communities, hopefully in a way that makes them come to my community and we can all have fun about this mutual thing that we all love. Definitely a lot of fourth wall breaking stuff. Like, I can imagine if it was on Webtoon. I had an idea for a Webtoon episode that would barely have backgrounds, and the characters can kind of talk about how there is artist burnout, or there is a lack of backgrounds, or, you know, those kinds of things, which Gintama kind of does, but this was like a new setting. It's like a new vertical scroll. Like, I had ideas to actually play with the vertical scroll of like when you're swiping and having that fourth wall break vibe. It's hard to verbally explain it, but I think in execution, at least in my head, you know, I might screw the execution, but in my head, what I had planned, chef's kiss. And some of you might be saying, oh, why are you saying it now? Someone can steal the idea. Well, part of the reason I'm saying it now is so that you know I had the idea. It's a timestamp. Because I might still do it in some way, shape, or form, but I had some really cool plans while still having a grounded story and where these characters have their own history and their own wants and goals and backstory and all of that. Why they're a group at all. They're very similar to, like, again, an Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Maybe not as problematic. But, you know, why are they together? What is the history? What does Bacassi actually mean? What are the roots of that? And I had this whole thing planned out. Also, it would be like this episodic story that could go on forever while still having some key things that happen. And then I could end it anytime I wanted to end it. Kind of. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but you get my point. It's going to take place in this New Yorkie / Atlanta type place, but with all these creatures from other worlds. And in some cases, the creature is kind of blended into society, and like, you're not shocked that you're seeing this 3-headed dragon get your order at a Starbucks. For the 2.5 people that made it to the end of this video, I thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that illustration. Like the video if you did. Support the Patreon, because a lot of this stuff goes back into production for the video and my manga assistants. Real link in peace. Like the video, holy go smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you stay notified each time I post absolutely anything. Turn on all notifications. Links to everything you could possibly need will be in the description below. Read Apple Black, that's already on Webtoon, depending on when you're watching this video. Go get the Apple Black books. The more success the book sales have, or just reading it for free on Webtoon, the more likely something does happen with Bacassi, and we have a lot of fun. Leave in the comments what you would do from a satirical parody standpoint with your characters, or if you were the writer and illustrator of Bacassi, what are the fun things you would do with other series in a parody way? And maybe not with Bacassi, maybe if you were writing Gintama, what would you have Gintama characters do from a parody standpoint with other shows, whether your favorite shows or anything like that? I'd love to hear if you guys are funny. But that's it. Check out more videos. It's White Manga, and I'm Audi 9000.